The Imperial throne world was a place where no one questioned the inevitability of conquest. From the jeweled galleries of the High Admiralty to the granite corridors of the War Ministry, every leader believed the same: humanity was an upstart civilization, an inconvenient remnant of the expansion era that had somehow survived annihilation. And so, when the Imperial Senate voted to end the nuisance once and for all, no one doubted the outcome. Fleet Lord Rovar stood at the prow of the Imperial dreadnought unyielding vow, watching the blue sphere of Earth swell in the viewport. The fleet at his back was the mightiest ever assembled, 2,000 warships, each one a cathedral of destruction, their hulls plated in obsidian alloys, their holds stuffed with legions of shock troopers. Earth's defenders, the Senate insisted, were a myth, stories of old Terran ingenuity inflated by fear. "Transmit the surrender demand," Rovar ordered. A comms officer inclined her head. Moments later, a cold voice echoed across every Imperial channel. "This is Fleet Lord Rovar of the Imperial Armada. You are outmatched. You will power down your defense grids and submit to occupation. Any resistance will be met with total eradication." Silence answered him. No trembling plea. No defiant declaration. He waited another moment. The ship's atmosphere felt heavy with anticipation, like the breath before a storm. "Very well," he said, turning to his second in command. "Advance the forward echelon. Begin orbital bombardment." In perfect unison, hundreds of capital ships glided into formation. Siege cannons unfolded along armored spines, their barrels aimed at the blue curve of continents below. Data feeds began counting down firing cycles. On Earth, the skies were clear. Oceans shimmered, undisturbed. Cities glowed with the quiet luminescence of a civilization neither surprised nor afraid. Rovar narrowed his eyes. He had expected some sign of desperation. Evacuations, perhaps, or kinetic strikes. But the Terrans did nothing at all. The countdown reached 0. "Fire," he commanded. The first barrage erupted, a wall of searing plasma lances and hypersonic kinetic rounds, each capable of vaporizing cities. The weapon's fire streaked toward Earth, until the impossible happened. It vanished. Not deflected. Not destroyed. Simply gone, as if space itself had folded around it. A murmur rippled across the dreadnought's bridge. "Confirm impact," Rovar snapped. "Admiral, there is no impact," stammered a sensor officer. "No debris, no atmospheric entry signatures. The projectiles never arrived." He felt the first thread of unease. Targeting arrays malfunction? Negative. All systems nominal. Weapon cycles complete. And still, Earth remained unchanged, placid and waiting. The comms array crackled with static. Then a voice spoke, calm, unhurried, and unmistakably human. "Imperial Armada," it said, "you were warned 1,000 years ago to leave this world unmolested. You have chosen otherwise." Rovar gestured sharply to cut the transmission, but the voice continued, echoing from every speaker, every headset, every neural implant. "You are trespassers. You are aggressors. You are obsolete." Rovar opened his mouth to order a second volley, but in that instant, the stars themselves seemed to bend. It began as a flicker at the edge of every sensor array, an anomalous distortion ringing Earth's orbit. Then, with a pulse like the heartbeat of a god, an invisible wave swept across the entire Imperial formation. Ships vanished. One by one, dreadnoughts and cruisers simply ceased to exist, without explosion or wreckage, without radiation spikes or impact debris. They were there, and then they were not. Rovar spun toward his officers. "Report," he barked, voice tight with disbelief. "Vessel count, dropping," whispered the tactical chief. "We've lost 300, now 500, Admiral, they're all disappearing." "Impossible. No known technology." The voice returned, softer this time. "This is not technology. This is a threshold you cannot cross." On the tactical display, red icons winked out faster and faster. 700 vessels gone. Then 1,200. Evasive maneuvers. Rovar roared. All ships retreat. Engage warp drives, now. But even as his dreadnought's engines flared, he saw the last image the sensors captured, a lattice of pale blue symbols forming in the void, an array of shapes humanity had once called the Aegis Network. It was the defense grid of old Earth, an artifact of a civilization that had transcended warfare long before the Empire's ancestors left their homeworld. Rovar knew, in that final heartbeat, that the Senate had never truly understood what they were provoking. He did not feel the ship's end. One moment, he stood with his crew, breath ragged in his chest. The next, there was nothing at all. From orbit, Earth remained serenely unchanged, clouds drifting across continents that had survived empires far older and stronger than the current invaders. In the aftermath, the Imperial Senate convened emergency councils. Hundreds of systems fell into panic as news spread that the greatest fleet ever assembled had been obliterated without a shot fired in return. Some worlds demanded vengeance. Others whispered that no vengeance was possible. Only one fact remained undeniable. Humanity was not simply surviving. Humanity was unassailable. And if provoked, it would erase those who forgot that truth.